All right, Shalom. Physical service and praise to Yahweh. Send out Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that we will, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. This is Biden family reviewing treatment options after former president's cancer diagnosis. So I'm going to press play on this clip and then add some precepts. Biden was one of them guys that's at the top that's in the know in his home kingdom. He got diseases and shit, but he ain't got nothing good to look forward to. Whether he down his side, or not, because in the kingdom of heaven, they going into slavery. You white people, Edomites, according to the Bible, are going into slavery. Brothers behind spiritual powers to do unto y'all any and everything that we want to do according to the law, including give you sicknesses while you sit there and build up the kingdom of heaven. So you gotta enjoy his little time on earth with this little disease he got from the Lord, which is a pestilence. Because in heaven, he only gonna catch more and more hell. So that's what his ass gets.
We continue to follow the breaking news on former President Joe Biden's aggressive prostate cancer diagnosis. The office of the 82-year-old former commander-in-chief issued a statement today saying, in part, quote, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, characterized by a Gleason score of 9, grade group 5, with metastasis to the bone. While this represents a more aggressive form of the disease, the cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, which allows for effective management, and the president and his family are reviewing treatment options with his physicians. Let's bring in Fox News medical contributor and board-certified radiologist Dr. Nicole Saphier. Doctor, you deal with cancer on a daily basis. What's your take on what the doctors have told us? Granted, you haven't been able to see the imaging or the test results, but based on what we've heard so far, give us your top line and what you see happening here with President Joe Biden.
Well, of course, my heart goes out to former President Biden and his entire family. Anyone who hears the word cancer, it is devastating, especially when you have a son who has passed from cancer. I'm sure this triggered a lot of emotion in President Biden. So what we know so far is not a lot of information, but what the family has told us is that he has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. They said that it is metastasized to his bone. So let's kind of break down what prostate cancer is. It's very similar to breast cancer, which I deal with on a day-to-day. It's not one size fits all. It's not very black and white. There are many different types, and they act very differently, and you treat them very differently. So the information that we have about former President Biden's cancer is that it is a Gleason score of 9. Now, the Gleason is scored from 2 to 10, 10 being the most aggressive, meaning it grows the fastest. It has the highest risk of it metastasizing outside of the prostate gland. So 9 we would consider very aggressive, meaning it's very fast moving. You look at this by when you do a biopsy of the prostate, you base this score on what you see under the microscope, how quickly those cells are dividing, how many cells are actually there. So they've given him a Gleason score of 9, and the other information that they have told us is that it is already metastasized to the bone, which, as we know, this is stage 4. So when you talk about prostate cancer, it can be local, meaning it is confined to the prostate. The prostate is encapsulated, so that is the best case scenario when the cancer is actually confined to the prostate, still within the capsule. It can have local spread, meaning it has gone through the capsule. Sometimes it's just gone into the surrounding fascia, into the local regional lymph nodes, or in President Biden's case, it does sound as now it has gone to his bone. So again, stage 4. Now, when we talk about prostate cancer, the survivability for the most part, it can be at 100% at 5 years if it's caught early. When it goes to stage 4, especially if it's more aggressive, that 5-year survivability is significantly decreased with numbers less than 35%. Every case is different, as I said, not two cases are exactly the same. But the one good thing that they did mention about President Biden's case is that it is hormone sensitive. So there's a way to actually treat this, either surgically or through medications, where you actually give him anti-androgen therapy to kind of stop the testosterone, because his particular tumor needs testosterone and these androgens, these other hormones, to grow. So by stopping them, that's a way to manage disease. And I know when people hear stage 4, they get very nervous. Obviously, that is worst case scenario when you're talking about cancer. But we have so many treatments these days that you can actually live for quite a long time with stage 4 cancers. And it sounds, again, like in his case, because it is hormone sensitive, there are treatment methods. It's never going to cure him. He's never not going to have stage 4 cancer, but he could get to the point where he has no evidence of disease, or certain no progression of disease. And at this point, that's what our goal is.
Dr. Sapphire, you work at one of the best cancer hospitals in the world. And even though this particular cancer is not your specialty, you see it all the time at the hospital where you are. So have you seen patients come in with this same diagnosis as President Biden do well with the kinds of therapies that you're talking about? Have you, in an older man like him?
So undoubtedly, 80% of my time I am strictly breast cancer, but 20% of my time in the hospital, I am reading scans of all different types of cancers. So I see prostate cancer patients every single day, specifically those that have had metastatic disease. And yes, I've seen people living with metastatic prostate cancer 5 years, 10 years. Now, again, President Biden has a very aggressive cancer, Gleason 9. So that does make it that it's more aggressive, maybe won't necessarily respond as well, but it still might. He's also 82 years old, so that is a factor. But I will tell you that I read scans up until people of, I think 101 is the oldest that I have read a CT scan. But his age is definitely a factor, and how well he does on these medications, how well he tolerates any potential side effects that he may have, as well as some of his confounding already existing illnesses. We know that he has a history of cardiovascular disease. He's had a prior brain aneurysm in the past. He's had some cognitive issues, and we also see that he's had some gait issues, osteoarthritis issues. All of this kind of comes together. When you talk about metastatic prostate cancer to the bone pain can be one of the most horrific pains that anyone can experience, and sometimes that can be very difficult to manage. So my biggest hope is that if he is in some pain, that they are helping him, making sure that he's very comfortable while they're treating him to try and have less effect on his bones.
Hey, Nicole, it's Joe.
Lord, she go ahead and let that devil sit down. Go through hell. A lot of these elites gonna die. Elites. A lot of these presidents gonna be killed. Either today. Let me get that real fast. Let's see. All right, bear with me. This is Sirach chapter 10. Verse 10. The physician cutteth off a long disease. The physicians deal with the herbs. That's fucked up that you in your kingdom and you die from these various diseases. With the money you got, the demons you worship, the status you have, and you even know that there's cancer in water, air, food, etc. But you so happen to still manage to catch it. But that's how you know that's Yahweh Shema Shai. The Lord is the one that give out the diseases. Cancer is a pestilence. according to the Bible. It says, "A physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die." Right? Yeah, Biden was the king, a lesser king of Babylon, of America. Now it's in Trump hands, but the ultimate king is out of the elites, you know. But it don't matter what position you're in. Uh, the Lord give out diseases, and even in these high positions, you can get your ass put straight to death. Physicians, physicians, and herbs and stuff won't even work for you. I'm gonna read one more precept, and I'm gonna get into what prostate cancer is. This is so much. 30 verse 15. Ah, I can start at verse 14. So I can Better is the poor, being sound and strong of constitution, of mind, sound and strong of mind, than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. His mind is messed up, and his body is being afflicted. And that was happening on TV in front of everybody. Health and good estate of body are above all gold. Right. So your health is better is above having money, and a strong body above infinite wealth. Right. Your health is more important than you having money, man. Verse 16, it says, "There is no riches above a sound body." You have all the money in the world, but it's not better than having a sound body. And no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. So people would rather die than have a bitter life or continual sickness. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's go into what prostate cancer is. Prostate cancer is a type of cancer that develops in the prostate gland, a small gland in the male reproductive system that produces the fluid that helps carry sperm. It's the most common cancer diagnosis in men, but it's also one of the most treatable cancers, especially when caught early. Early detection and symptoms. Prostate cancer often grows slowly and may not cause any symptoms in the early stages. Screening tests such as the prostate specific antigen PSA tests help detect the disease before symptoms appear. Symptoms that may indicate prostate cancer include frequent urination, especially at night, difficulty starting or stopping urination, weak urine stream, pain in the back, hips, and pelvis. Yeah. If you experience any of these symptoms, it's essential to consult with your healthcare provider for evaluation. Respect. Age. Prostate cancer is more common in older men. Ethnicity. African American men have a higher risk of developing prostate cancer than other racial groups. Why? Because, like I was just mentioning, everything is poison. The air, the food, the water, all these things have cancer in them. And they did that on purpose to try to kill us off, as well as keep the society dumb. But we the main target out of it all. But to be in your own kingdom and catching diseases that was pushed out for the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, who are the biblical Israelites, for the goddamn time. But all this happens because the Yahweh Shai, the Lord is the one that give it to Jesus. It says, family history. Men with a family history of prostate cancer have a higher risk. That's because the whole fucking family's stupid and don't know how to eat and take care of themselves, etc. And then it's still a Yahweh Shai, ultimately. Whole family. Whole family catching cancer because the whole fucking family don't know how to take care of themselves and shit. Certain genes, genetic mutations can increase the risk of prostate cancer, obesity, and I was gonna say that, but Spirit brought it out. Obesity, being overweight or obese, can also increase the risk of prostate cancer. You gotta eat to live, not live to eat. Diagnosis: the PSA test measures the levels of prostate-specific antigen in the blood. Elevated levels can indicate prostate cancer or other prostate conditions. A prostate biopsy is performed to collect tissue samples for analysis under a microscope, confirming the presence of cancer. Imaging tests such as an MRI and ultrasound may be used to assess the extent of the cancer. Treatment options for prostate cancer depend on the stage and aggressiveness of the cancer. He had left 9 on a Gleach, call that shit, Gleach something. Tell me how Gleach score. Common treatments include surgery to remove the prostate gland, radiations, and nothing, no, they don't say nothing about no herbs, exercise, just everything to fuck you up even more. Surgery, that's why this place gotta go. And the Israelites, as far as in the kingdom of heaven, won't be catching no cancers, man. We ain't gonna never be able to get sick no more. You crackers, you devils, you fucking heathen, the rest of you heathen, y'all gonna be able to get sick, die, and we're gonna bring you right back to life where the fuck you died at. Put you right back to the fucking work, man. It says surgery to remove the prostate gland, radiation therapy to destroy cancer cells, hormone therapy to reduce testosterone levels. And they are already fucking homosexuals, so that don't even matter to him. Chemotherapy, and just if you see this nigga with some tights on, just they took the rest of his testosterone, some daisy juice, some shit. But yeah, hormone therapy to reduce testosterone levels, chemotherapy to kill cancer cells. Active surveillance involves closely monitoring the cancer without immediate treatment. Brachytherapy, where radioactive seeds are implanted into the prostate, is another treatment option. Prognosis: prostate cancer usually grows slowly and in most cases are diagnosed before the cancer has spread to other parts of the body. Treatment options can significantly improve the quality of life and survival rate for men diagnosed with prostate cancer. Early detection and treatment are crucial for a positive outcome. Let me click on this real fast because they got an image over here. That's why brothers got to keep their health in order. I'm not gonna read this. I just want to see the image. Bladder, prostate, urethra, prostate cancer pressing on urethra. Urethra. Homosexuality. The rectum, the prostate, the bladder. All right, yeah, that's it for this. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." Right? So the curses were upon Israel. The curses include being sick with these various cancers, but now they've been put on the heathen even more than what it was what it was before. And the Lord is healing and dealing with his men, his elect, his chosen. The rest of the nation of Israel is going through the same shit the cracker devil going through. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee." And that's what they have done unto us. They hated us and they persecuted us, man. So the curses are going upon them because we are getting ready to go into the kingdom of heaven. So all the curses and things that we have been going through, the heathen are going through. Second Ezra 15 and 49. "I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence," that's diseases, "to waste thy house with destruction and death." Right? So not only is this motherfucking Biden got a disease that eventually might take his ass out, the Lord sends diseases on everybody that he ain't fucking with. I'm gonna end it off with this First Corinthians. Because the Israelites ain't gonna have nothing to worry about in the kingdom of heaven. We're gonna be made perfect. We're not gonna die, get sick, diseases, nothing. There is so much the Lord chosen people, and the Lord was dealing with them. So they will be up under this blessing, man. In chapter 15, I'm gonna start at verse 50. It says, "Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh Shai, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption." This body can inherit the kingdom of heaven. We gotta get a new body. "Behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed." This time with the elect. All of the elect not gonna die on this side behind the persecution of the prophets because they're on the will of Yahweh. But when it's time for us to get beamed into them chariots right before the nuclear missiles hit, we all gonna be changed. We have the elect, but changed meaning we're gonna get our spiritual bodies, them indestructible bodies. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Right, the dead in Yahushua, those that died for the word, gonna be raised up first into them chariots, and they're gonna take on a new form. That's a new body, a body that can't be destroyed, sick, hunger, death, weakness, none of that. That's what it means by we shall be changed. For this corruptible, this flesh must put on incorruption, right? And this mortal must put on immortality. We're gonna be able to die, we're gonna be able to live forever. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and we're going to be made perfect, so we're not going to be sinning no more. So we're not going to die. And the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua. Yahushua is our sacrifice, was the sacrifice. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain. The Lord, right? So we got many blessings coming, and being able to live forever and get these incorruptible bodies to where we don't get sick, die, hunger, pain. You know, we're gonna have spiritual powers. That's another thing that come with the incorruptible body, the spiritual body, the immortality. You know, that's powers like all your favorite uh anime stars with, you know, laser beams and all that extra stuff. Like, you know, DVD characters, the Justice League, Professor X, and we're gonna have all them powers, you know, with that immortal body, you know. The heathen, they're not gonna have none of that. They're gonna have the curses on them. You know, they're not gonna be able to pray to no demonic ass witch to help keep them looking young or get them healthy. None of that. You know, we don't have control over all of that. We're gonna make sure that y'all survive, just like how y'all did up, to serve out y'all captivity. You can be not deaf, picking up bricks and building walls. The kids also, you know. So, you know, with that being said, man, death to Babylon, death to these fucking crackers, these heathen, these Edomites, these white people, man, and the rest of the heathen. Just been a part about Shema Shai, man. Now, with that being said, call Allah Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.